Well, this week we looked at the familiar Christmas prophecy in Isaiah chapter 9, the "For unto us a child is born." What a great and familiar passage that is. And the question that came in is the government in verse 6 and 7 talking about the government now or the government for eternity in the kingdom of God? And I would say it's a little bit of both, but let's take a closer look. A reminder of the text for this week, starting in chapter 9, verse 6. "For unto us a child is born, to us a son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulder. And his name shall be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. Of the increase of his government and of peace there will be no end. On the throne of David and over his kingdom, to establish it and uphold it with justice and righteousness from this time forth and forevermore." It certainly seems like he's talking about both now and in the future, but let's take a closer look even still. He mentions unending peace. He also says the government will be established and will be upheld with righteousness and justice forevermore. Verse 5, before where I just started, he points to the cessation of war. He says you're not going to have to stockpile any weapons or military uniforms. They're going to be burned in the fire. There will be no more war. Well, since we know that's not true here and now, it certainly seems like he is talking specifically about the eternal kingdom. We know that there is not peace now. We know that there has not been a cessation of war. So it must be looking forward to the eternal kingdom, the kingdom that lasts after Christ's return. However, I think we also need to look at this passage in its context. Now, remember, this verse comes right after King Ahaz of the southern kingdom denies God's protection and deliverance. Ahaz denies God. He tries to take matters into his own hands. Now, Judah, the southern kingdom, is about to be attacked by the northern kingdom, and Isaiah says to Ahaz that the Lord will protect Judah, but you have to trust him. In fact, ask him for a sign, and he will show you. And Ahaz says, "No way. I'm not going to trust him. I'm not even going to ask him for a sign to prove it." And that's where Isaiah delivers the other well-known prophecy that we often read at Christmas time. From chapter 7, it's, "Therefore the Lord himself will give you a sign. Behold, the virgin shall conceive and bear a son, and shall call his name Emmanuel," another familiar passage. See, Ahaz was a Davidic king. He expected to rule for eternity since God promised that David's descendants would be on the throne forever. But instead of trusting in God's protection, Ahaz looked to earthly powers to force the situation. He was thinking, "I'm going to rule forever because my power and clever governing will keep me on the throne." So Isaiah first says, "A virgin shall conceive and bear a son." And then later he says, "For unto us a child is born." You see, Isaiah is saying the eternal king that will be on the throne of David forever, it's not going to be you. It's not going to be you, the wicked king. It's going to be a child born in Galilee later. It's not going to be you. So once again, it clearly is talking about the eternal kingdom, but that kingdom has already been established now. Christ did come 2,000 years ago. Christ is on that throne now. It's just not completed until he returns. The eternal government is on Christ's shoulders. It will be on Christ's shoulders, but it's also on his shoulders now. And that gives us hope because the eternal government is a greater government. Even now, it's better than anything we could imagine. It's better than any earthly kingdom, no matter how powerful it was or is or will be. Christ's government will be better than that. So what do we do with that? Do we ignore our elections? Do we stay away from politics? No. We stay involved. We stay informed. We vote, so vote your conscience. Pray for your political leaders. Seek righteousness and justice now. Our government has been established to protect us and to protect our people here and now, but we just have to keep it in perspective. Our government will not be the government to usher in the kingdom of God for eternity. That will happen in God's time, in God's way. And let's also remember that it will probably look more like the victory at Midian than it will look like a military power conquering another evil foreign power on the planet. So there's nothing wrong with seeking righteousness and justice in our government today. In fact, we should. We should be involved. We should be active. But I think Isaiah is telling King Ahaz and telling us today, don't put your eternal hope in your government of the day. Put your eternal hope in God, in the sacrifice of Christ, and then do your best to honor God while you're here on earth, in your daily living, in your political involvement, whatever that might look like. It is Christ's eternal government, but that government is still active today. Well, thanks for sending in your questions. I hope this has been helpful for you.